Good evening, sir
Hi.
and sirettes. My name is Blackclone, and I am here with...
Dixie Normus? I'm just kidding. My name is Mason.
and we're here with the Empress as well. You want to say hi? Or do you just want to...
Hello.
you
I
just
have
wanna-
a cat on my lap.
Okay, yeah. She's just enjoying putting the pussy. But anyways, we're going to go off of a disclaimer since this is...
As we all should.
Yes.
Oh, wait.
But since this is technically a CNA podcast, along with being a humorous podcast, we should state that the names and identities of the residents that we take care of have been changed, and the facility that we work at, well, it's just going to be referred to as the facility, so good luck trying to fucking look up a fucking place called the facility. Good luck with that.
Yeah, you might look up the facility and it'll take you to a bunch of different places that you might not want to go to.
And if you're lucky, you might find the one that we work at.
Good luck.
Have fun.
Yeah, I mean, either that or just takes you to a pawn shop, you never know.
I mean,
Hey, that wouldn't hurt.
I mean, I don't know,
just make sure you're hiding your phone from your significant other, just for safety reasons. Oh, you think you're better than me? Or you think that bitch is better than me? I mean, she does more than you.
I mean,
Oh my god!
It is the facility, so you never know.
Yeah, the facility could mean...
Yeah, it could mean a lot of things.
It could mean medical. It could mean the
Chicken plant.
facility.
Could also mean like the bathroom too, so good luck with that shit.
I mean, if you're doing medical and that
We're
kind
gonna
of
make
facility in the bathroom, then I mean, you...
Oh.
We're gonna make
yeah.
a whole
Yeah, you're
podcast
doing medical. I'm going to check her pulse real quick. Hold on. What are you doing? Oh, nothing.
Checking your pulse.
Just using 2 fingers, and checking the pulse.
Yeah, you gotta make sure she's alive, I mean...
Yeah, it's just the mucous membranes are down there.
Yeah.
COVID test.
That's the one way to get
Yeah,
COVID.
that's a COVID test, all right.
I mean, that'd be one hell of a fucking COVID test, Just here, let me just swab in there for a little bit,
Ow.
Oh, that'd fucking hurt with it. What the fuck's the guy doing? Damn.
Don't mind us. We're retarded.
Only slightly.
Very.
I'm mildly.
Are you sure about that?
Oh, sorry, I'm retarded.
But yes, we like to have fun here.
Fun. We know when to be serious. We know when we're talking serious.
Oh yeah, but this episode we're not going to be doing any serious
No,
talk.
it's mainly just kind of an introduction to what this is, and
Oh
Yep.
yeah. Some
And
people
we are-
might instantly be like, "Oh shit, this shit's fucking retarded."
that, and if people click on and they're like, "Oh wait, this is all just serious BS. I'm not gonna listen to this." Throw some humor in there. That way, it catches their attention, and
I mean, yeah, of course,
We want y'all to have fun listening.
yeah, it's
listen in, have fun. Make this as big as we can make it.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But on that topic, if I can actually get the freaking list off, so we're going to start off by me and the Empress talking about the day in the life of a CNA, basically.
Yeah.
So, as
Ooh.
always, you wake up at like
Ooh.
6 o'clock in the fucking morning trying to
Gross.
get your ass up.
Unless you live on a few cities over, then you get up at 4 in the morning.
Oh my god.
After 3 hours, maybe 4 hours of sleep if you're lucky.
You gotta
Nah.
you gotta like how genitalia, the North Wing, gets up at 4 because she lives like 7 towns away.
Yeah. Poor genitalia.
But I mean, she can be a mean motherfucker too.
Yeah.
I mean, considering that it takes like 2 to 3 hours to get to work, she has to, if we can get a hotel, because weekend doubles,
You're just scared because she's as tall as you.
Dude,
And you're
she's
6'7".
no,
6'3".
I'm 6'2". Okay, if I wore to wear boots, I'd be 6'3". That motherfucker. She's literally almost as high as me. Okay.
As high, you go to you're a CNA as your high. Whoa.
Hey, some coworkers, man.
Hey.
Some coworkers.
Whatever gets the job done, right?
Yeah, as long as it's done, it's done.
Yeah, but literally, go to work, clock in, use your little finger thing, have to try it like 5
You have to finger the thing to
Yeah,
clock in.
you gotta finger the time clock, just...
You have to finger it just right.
Yeah.
Okay, bye, Ken.
You can't go, a little bit left, you can't go a little bit right, you gotta get it right on that G-spot.
And it never works just once.
I mean, some days you're lucky, you hit it just right, and you're like...
Yeah, but most days it wants to be stubborn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it always wants to be stubborn. I tried 20 times just to get the same break time as Blackclone, and it would not work. That machine is ridiculous.
But then again, you are tiny, so you're like on your tippy toes trying to find...
Yeah, it caters to tall people. And I'm over here just trying to clock in. I have to freaking stand up tall, reach my arm up high, watch a cat go crazy over a piece of string.
I mean, pussy and strings don't really go together.
I mean, technically they do.
Not for fun.
Not for fun, they don't.
No, that could be bad.
And then you have music, like over here, which is like shorter than you. And it's just like, holy crap. She's one of the other nurses, too. And, yeah, she's... What is it called? She's mean. And all she does is...
Is she the one who was there when you first started? You said North? Mm-hmm.
A bitch.
Oh, yeah. But there's times where she knows when to not be.
Yeah.
A bitch?
If somebody's going through something, she'll be there.
Yeah. It's like...
But bitch at you about it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean... When, the Empress over there was new to the job, like...
She was a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. She made me change...
This is my place right here. You work under me, okay?
Yeah, because...
She made me change and help the most fragile resident.
I'm the head cheese up here. You gotta listen to me, okay?
No, you're talking about... What is what is her name from Timmy Turner? Trixie...
Vicky...
No, Trixie.
Trixie?
I guess that...
Trixie Tang.
Yeah. That sounds like that one nurse. I'm gonna call her Trixie Tang. But freaking... She's all about this, all about that. Everything is all about me. Okay? You're a CNA. I'm higher than you. Okay? What I say goes. You are fucking nothing.
Even though I never had to work in your position.
Yeah, seriously. Fucking...
It's like, I wouldn't want to work in your position. What's your kind of position, huh?
She's a wound nurse, and she barely does her fucking job. Okay? She barely does her fucking job. She's one of those that does the bare minimal and sit on her phone.
On wound care?
Yeah!
Oh my god.
Like, okay, so there are some residents that, you try to reposition so they don't get bed sores, then they just move.
Yeah, so you can't do anything about it, but in some way, you get in trouble for it.
Yeah. They're like, oh my god, this is a beat, like...
and then you can get written up.
Like, here's the thing. You have families that come in there, see the wound, and then bitch at us. Even though it's like, we do turn them, they just fucking shuffle themselves back into their own original spot,
Yeah.
Like, huge ass. And he's on the south wing. And fucking, he has a bed sore on his fucking ass.
Is he the one who's always rude to us when we go in there?
Is the bed sore on his huge ass?
Yeah. But freaking, we're like, okay, if you want it to stop hurting, you're gonna have to move onto your side. That's the only way the wound will be able to heal. And he refuses.
Because he thinks it hurts worse to be on his side.
Yeah, but it's like, dude, the wound's only gonna get worse. I mean, we've tried stuffing pillows to try to mitigate the pressure, but there's only so much you can do unless you turn them, At
that point, once it's a wound, then there's really not much you can do for that as far as just kind of let it run its course, heal on its own. I mean, it's going to hurt either way, no matter where you position them.
That's one thing that irritates me, is that some residents just don't understand. It's like, yes, it's a little bit uncomfortable, but we have to do it,
So that you do not get a sore.
And so that way the sore doesn't get so bad to the point where it gets to the bone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that happens.
It did happen.
Would you rather be comfortable or
have a giant gaping fucking hole in your ass? A second one.
a third one, depending on...
It's not completely gaping yet.
I mean...
Not until...
One is closed with a muscle, the other one is a massive gaping fucking hole, okay?
Yeah, like we see
God,
bones.
why are we talking about holes here?
And bones being in the holes.
Like, I mean, there was...
no, thank you.
There was another resident, Kimmy Head. She was only there for 3 days, and her daughter was a complete fucking cunt. Okay? She didn't trust us doing any fucking thing. Like, I would just give her a bed bath, just change her sheets and everything. And she, like, in her own daughter's care, her own mother had literally the size of,
She had, like, 3 of them, didn't she?
And one was the size of my fist.
Oh my
And to give you a
God.
reference,
Yeah.
it's about 4 inches on, like, all together.
4-inch diameter.
Yeah. Like, you could literally fit a grown-ass man's fist in there. Talking about
4 inches may seem like a lot to y'all, but they got 2 inches on me.
But freaking... Seriously, in her own daughter's care, her mother literally had a wound so fucking big. And her mother didn't trust us, actual medical professions, to take care of her mother.
Even though she's the one who kept her locked in a room and didn't do anything.
However, I kind of see it from her point to an extent.
No.
Because of, like...
Like, I mean, you hear
She
it...
kept her locked in a
At
room
this-
in
well, I
one
mean-
bed.
In her mindset, it was probably more like... I don't want anything further to happen right now. We need to get this fixed as soon as we can, but I don't really trust completely what...
Yeah. Like, I mean, I get it, you know,
Then
some...
educate yourself so you don't have to.
Yeah, but it's like, I get it. Some nursing facilities, you know, like, you hear a lot about neglect and abuse and stuff. And it's like, I'm not going to be one of those people and say that hasn't happened at our facility. It's like, yeah, it has happened, but those people have gotten kicked in the fucking ass for it.
Who?
You know? Those 2 NAs, they weren't fully certified yet.
The ones that...
Left the lady literally
Hanging.
hanging off of her fucking bed when I got
with
onto
her
the shift.
head and neck caught on a bar.
Yeah, like...
Oh, yeah, no. Huh,
Like,
hell
she
no.
was on there for a while, and I was so pissed.
Yeah.
And so was the other CNA, you know? Like, me and her, we just got on the shift. And we're like, how the hell can you fucking not see that somebody is like this?
Because you're supposed to check them every hour to every 2 hours, depending on the resident.
Yeah. You know? Like, how the fuck? Like, you're not even certified yet. You know? Like, you should know better. You're in training for this. So it's like, how the 9 fucking hells can you... Because, like, towards the end of your shift, we're supposed to do a end of shift, you know, round.
And
which
Right.
is
a
basically...
report to the next CNA.
Yeah.
So for all the people that's not really into this, what is a round?
So a round is basically you go from room to room, make sure nobody is... I know it's going to sound bad, but it's literally to make sure nobody is dead, nobody is attempting to hang themselves, they are dry, and they are comfortable.
That they're...
And they have water.
Yeah. That they're
Yeah.
not soaking in pee or poop. But speaking of, that one resident that we were just referring to was often left neglected, and especially that day, I was told that her bed had brown rings, meaning she had wet the bed, and it had been there
Multiple
for
times.
a long time.
Yeah.
On her sheets and her
Like, even if you
briefs
change
and
the
her
resident,
gown.
if you don't change the bed sheet, that is also considered
Yes.
neglect.
Yes, if the bed sheet is wet and you don't change it.
So-
Or if it has poop.
Yeah. And it's like, for me, I'm one of those people that is extremely sympathetic. You know, like, if I was in that resident's shoes, you know, I wouldn't like to be sitting in my
Right.
own urine
Oh, that's true.
for like fucking 8 hours at a time.
Yeah,
until,
Well, yeah, because it's your job to make sure that they
It's like-
have everything they need, they're comfortable, and
yeah.
everything's
So it's like,
done.
like, I mean, I get it. You know, if you're having a rough day, you know, I get it. You know?
Well, even if, I mean, that's the one thing that you really need to watch for.
Yeah,
is-
it's like, at
because
least make sure
if
they're
you're,
clean.
If you're off out of there, say for 2 hours,
Yeah.
they're alone for 2 hours. A lot can happen in that 2 hours, and you would have no idea about
Yeah.
it until
Yes,
you
but the
finally.
2 hours is the minimum.
Like, literally 2 hours is the, you know, well, technically it's the max on rounds. Because
it's
you're
the
literally
maximum, yeah.
Because you're supposed to check everyone every 2 hours no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, but like my point is, even if it's 2 hours or 30 minutes, a lot can happen within that short time period.
Yeah. Just like when I worked the original COVID unit, which was when I first started, working the original COVID unit, we had to check everyone every 30 minutes because if they stopped breathing, then we would have to intubate them.
Yeah.
Unless they were a DNO, which means...
If they stop breathing, they stop breathing. You can't perform resuscitation. You can't do CPR, any of that.
Yeah. So it's like... That's why every 30 minutes we have to check them. Because when I worked, the COVID unit had 5 people, and that was on the North Wing. At that time. Like, it was at the beginning of the year. Huh? Yeah. But when I worked there was only 5 people, and nobody on my shift died, but it was the next day I found out that 2 of the 5 died during the night.
2 of them?
Yeah.
Were they around the same time?
Roughly, they were 2 hours apart. Yeah.
Damn.
I think just as far as that whole job, not really as much as just CNA, just like anything in that kind of field where it's like hospice care, stuff like that. That'll be one of the hardest parts of that job is making the cold calls to the families.
Yeah, but that's typically the nurse's job.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just meaning like all around. I mean,
it's really tough making that call. Because when the COVID outbreak first started at the facility, they had to literally make a phone call. Because at this time, the facility was, like, the census was 100%. It was 100% capacity. Right now, we're only at 25. Technically.
Really?
We can fit a lot more people in. You know how in most rooms there's only 1 person there?
Yeah, and there's 2 beds.
In some rooms, there's not even anybody in there. Most of them got wiped out because of the COVID.
Or they just got discharged because it's long-term care, wound care,
hospice care.
Some acute care, which means short-term care. Basically, if you have a surgery or wounds, it would be there for a week.
And some of them are hospice care, too. Mm-hmm. We're kind of a mixture of everything.
So hospice, it might sound bad to say, but in some ways could be short-term.
Yeah, because
it's anywhere from a week to 6 months.
Hospice care is basically, for lack of a better term, like the last ride.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's basically like once you get put in a hospice care, there's nothing more that hospital care can do anymore.
Yeah, at this point, it's trying to make you as comfortable as you can towards the end of your life.
Well, yeah, because once you get put in the hospice, 9 times out of 10, as bad as it is to say, not a lot of them survive much, much longer.
But I will say that one person who, on one of the halls that I work, when they admitted they were a hospice, they had a hemorrhage in the brain, and it was bleeding at the time, but it stopped. Somehow, they survived, And even though that the doctors and the hospice nurses said that they wouldn't survive a week, they survived, and they're still going on 5 months.
Well, this is the thing. It's like whenever doctors and all that stuff give you like an estimated time period, that's almost kind of like an assumption.
Yes, it's an estimation.
Because, like, I'll tell you from experience, I had, in 1996, my uncle worked here in town, and he had taken a fall off of a scaffold about 17, 18 feet in the air and landed head first.
Mm.
And, excuse me, he landed head first and was immediately taken to the hospital. And, the doctors were telling, I wasn't born at the time, but it's been the story around my family for years and will be for a long time. Mm. Basically was telling, like, getting all the family together saying, hey, you might as well come and say your goodbyes, stuff like that, because he's most likely not going to make it through the night. And it shocked everybody. I'm not, like, that he made it through the night, and even much so the doctors, because they were like, well, if he even survives this, he won't remember anything. He was going to be basically completely brain dead.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he'll have absolutely no
motor function.
Yeah, nothing.
No quality of living.
Well, then he survived the whole day, then a week, and later on survived 16 years.
When they said he wouldn't make it one night?
Yeah, whenever they said that he wouldn't make it.
Is he brain dead, or does he have motor function?
He passed away, unfortunately, back in 2013, but as soon as he got out of the hospital, he was like, he wasn't the same as what he once was. But
I mean, of course, with any traumatic brain injury.
He had to learn everything again. Like, he had to learn how to talk, how to eat, how to walk, all that stuff again. But once all that kind of happened, he basically, talking to him, you would act like there's nothing happened at all. So, basically, whenever, like, medical staff give a somewhat of a time estimate on the end of your life, I mean, that's kind of more of just an assumption than it is a fact.
Yeah.
And I mean, granted, most, like, a lot of times whenever a doctor says, like, yeah, they're not going to last through the night, I mean, most times out of 10, that's probably true.
I'd say about 7 out of 10.
Because
because some people hold on, just like my uncle who recently passed away.
Yeah, it's basically just like it's kind of like a 70-30.
Yeah.
Kind of ratio, because 30% will most likely survive from it. However, there is that 70% that whenever doctors give, or not even just doctors, just anybody in the medical field give that kind of estimate, it's usually filled pretty quickly. I mean, they may not like last to the exact time that they predicted, but it'll always be in that kind of vicinity.
Yeah. Just like with my uncle, it's like we know he was going to go very soon.
Yeah.
Because his kidneys were shutting down, his body was slowly shutting down. And it's like, we know he was going to go soon. And when I looked at him, it's like, he does not have very long. And it's about a week later, wasn't it? I told her, because like, I could tell by his condition, because I've seen multiple people like that before.
Yeah.
And even though they didn't die when I was on shift, they died thereafter. So I've seen kind of it. And once you see, you kind of get an estimate. But, I couldn't say that, he was going to die, Tuesday at this specific time. You could never fucking do that.
And, like, a way that you could tell, too, that someone's time is coming up is there's a lot of, like, signs that you could tell.
Oh, but...
You could tell, like...
There's the death coma, there's the glazed eyes, there's the pale skin, cold skin.
There's hallucinations.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yes.
Because I know this from experience, because a lady that my stepmom used to sit with, she was an in-home nurse. So during the day, she would go over and take care of her while the lady's daughter was out at work. Mm-hmm. So I remember we were all sitting at my house, and she was sitting there saying, well, yeah, last week I talked to my mom the other day. And we're sitting there like, you what?
Your mom's been dead for 20 years.
Well, her mom passed away whenever I first met her. This was before, like, her Alzheimer's got really bad. Alzheimer's, sorry if I mispronounced, whatever.
Everybody pronounces it Alzheimer's or Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
Yeah. But before it got really bad, I mean, she still had quite a bit of her memory. She said that her mom passed away in 1963. And here it was, 2020. Well, late 2019, 2020, somewhere around that area. Mm. And she was like, well, yeah, I talked to my mom the other day, and we were visiting and all that stuff, and she is planning on coming to get me for a trip here in the next month or two. Mm. And once it got closer to her death date, the dates of whenever it happened was getting more specific. It's weird. Like, it didn't seem real. Like, at first it seemed like
no way.
This woman's out of her damn mind.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to deny, I thought that for a little bit. I'm like, this woman's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But as it came closer, I was looking into it, because that didn't seem right. Because she'd be sitting in her wheelchair and talking to thin air. Mm. sitting across the couch. But when, in our eyes, she was talking to nobody but to her.
She was talking to somebody.
Yeah. And once it got close, I can't remember the exact date, so I'm just going to use November 12th for an example. Mm. She was like, yeah, it's going to be the 12th of November at around 10 or so when she says she'll be here. And November 12th came on. 12th, it was the morning, because my stepmom went and picked her up and brought her back to the house, because she would always just hang out at our house because that was where she was more familiar with, because as it got closer to her passing, like, she'd almost feel more scared at hers. Mm. Like, it's weird to know, but, like, at that point, you're like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And we were looking through some of her old family pictures. She brought a big photo album with her. How she remembered that, I have no idea. But as it got closer and closer to her death date, her memory, like, increased by a lot.
Yeah, that's actually so weird with, like...
Yeah, because, I mean, like, they seem like they're acting much better. They are more active. They're more talkative. They can remember more.
And then they just drop?
Yeah. It can happen pretty much like that.
Because I don't know why. Nobody knows exactly why.
No one really knows, because that's no. I mean, it's not really even as much as just those on the whole. I think it was just the whole scenario fixing to happen, you know.
Yeah.
And she brought her family a photo album, and we were all looking through it, and she was telling us everything about every picture. Like, it shocked me, because I'm like, well, if you can't remember 4 times a day who I am, how can you remember all this? I mean, I didn't say anything out loud because
you don't want to.
But then again,
I don't want to piss nobody off. But I was thinking, I'm like, what's going on here? Mm-hmm. And as soon as they finally closed out the photo album, we were looking through it. She was like, yeah, and this is what that was. We took this one, whatever. I was like 3 or 4, something like that, when they went to I can't remember where she said she went. It's been a little while. But she closed out the photo album, and she went and sat down on the couch. Well, we rolled her over to the couch and moved her over to the couch. And as we were sitting there watching TV, she passed away right there. So it's weird, but kind of thinking about it, she passed away November 12th at 10:46 a.m.
Damn.
And what was the time she said?
10.
Between 10 and 11.
So she was right.
And it freaked me out at first. I'm like, what in the hell just happened?
She just fell asleep, basically, or?
Yeah. Like, she was sitting there. Her breathing has always been kind of staggered anyway. Just from, like, her asthma and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But she just sat there and just closed her eyes, and that's when she passed away. Like, she stopped breathing right there. No, like, health issues, just dropped, something shut down. I mean, it just all kind of naturally... what seemed like she had fell asleep was her actually passing away. And so what I put the pieces together, and I'm like, she said her mom was going to come get her on the 12th of November between 10 and 11. And it so happens that today she was bringing an old family photo album with her mother in it. And as soon as we seen the last picture with her mother, we closed the book, and that's when she passed away. Mm. So I guess in her mind, that was her sign of
being able to let
go. This is my mom. She's here to get me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it seems crazy on how all that played out, but at the same time, after putting all the pieces to the puzzle together, it made sense.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, dealing with death as CNAs, I've experienced, like I said, I've seen a few deaths in there. I've never done post-mortem care, at least not yet. But my first death was literally out of nowhere. He dropped from a blood clot that traveled to his heart and brain simultaneously. It's one of those, like, holy crap. Because I just got done talking to him, right? Yeah. Then I go to do vitals because, it's a double shift. It's a new shift. I got to do vitals on everyone. And I get to his room, and there is just this eerie feeling, and I'm like, feels odd in here, And then I look over, his eyes are glazed over, and I'm like, that don't seem too right. And at this time, I didn't know, like, the signs of somebody dying. Like, I was new, okay?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, they literally call it the blood pressure incident. My coworkers like to, fuck around with me and make fun of me about that. Because, like, I didn't know what somebody looked like when they died.
Right.
I just know what they look like after postmortem care. Like, at a funeral home and stuff.
Yeah. Not when they had passed.
Not like when they, just recently just dropped like that.
And this is before I even started.
It wasn't even 15 minutes either, So he died between me last talking to him and me getting vitals. What are you doing the quotations for?
The coworkers describe it their own way and you describe it, and then it could be any amount of time. Really.
I mean,
but I get the picture. Like,
it wasn't that long since I just talked to them.
But incidents like that can happen. Quickly. You can go from talking and having a good time to 5 minutes later
they just drop dead.
Yeah.
But like I said, I didn't know that he was dead at that exact moment until I got a coworker, and I'm like, something's not right.
The blood pressure won't read.
They like to be such fucking assholes about that too.
Yeah, but at the same time, though,
it's a funny joke, Like at first, I was kind of like pissed off about it, but now I can take it as a joke, and it is kind of funny.
Not the fact that the person died.
No,
it's just the fact that I didn't know. Yeah, it's
But at that point, you're just starting. And you're still trying to learn the ropes and everything, and you experience that, then you're like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah. At least I wasn't that one... you heard about... when the other nurse was talking about how one CNA basically gave a dead person a bed bath and stuff?
No.
How do you not know that?
I've never heard about it.
What do you mean?
I've never heard about
it. But here's why... Like, off of this very dark and serious topic.
Yeah, we've been going on it for about 15 minutes. People are like, holy shit, you said you weren't going to do anything dark. Whoopsies.
But I'll throw a little bit of humor in here, okay? Here's what I don't understand. You are a CNA.
Uh-huh.
You are trained to help people, keep them healthy, and make sure that they are happy and comfortable.
Yeah.
However, outside of a CNA, you're in the military.
Oh, here comes the irony.
And you are trained to kill.
Yeah.
You are trained in multiple ways of that. And you're basically two different people, just depending on where you are.
Yeah, it's kind of like split personality.
You could be at the base and be like,
I'm about to kill
I'm going to shoot every motherfucker in here. And you're at the facility, and you're like, I love you all. I want you all happy. I'm going to make sure that you are...
I'll give you all hugs. I love you all.
Everything you need.
We'll do this dance together.
Then, like, while you're at work or something, you get a call saying, hey, you're being deployed in...
Tomorrow.
Retardville, USA.
Fuck yeah!
And all of a sudden, you're like, okay, I thought you were going to be okay first, but I got to make sure I dust the old... cobwebs off my uniform and everything, so... What the fuck are you doing?
Oh my
god. These are jokes. If you learn anything, it's a goddamn accident.
But seriously, a lot of people...
Don't anybody take me fucking seriously, okay?
But that's honestly a great point, Me being in the military, I am trained to kill. I am trained to literally... disarm and beat the shit out of somebody, and I am trained to torture somebody. But yet, it's like two split personalities. On the other hand, it's like I can fuck somebody up, and on the other hand, I take care of somebody.
So, being in the field of medical and being in the military, that's a pretty awkward mix.
Imagine you are in war with somebody. Well, close combat. And then the next day... you're at the facility and you get a new admit.
And it's that person.
And they're there for a wound care, for a gunshot wound.
And you were the one
and you have to be the one to take care of them.
But you were the one that shot him.
But
yes,
like somebody's trying to rob you, and you just just fucking knife hand their fucking throat, fucking break their arm, break
just because
their
they're old
kneecap.
doesn't mean they can't fight. Like,
dude,
if somebody old can try to rob you.
But here's the thing, though. It's like you're in very close combat. You gotta you fucking shoot them, knocks a hole in their fucking gut, and they go in for wound care. And they're like, "All right, your physician will be in here in just a minute." Not physician, but whatever. You get the point.
The nurse will be in here shortly.
And comes in, and it's you, and you're just like, "Oh,
hi, bud. How you doing?
Remember me?"
No, I'd be like, "Hi, bud. How's it going?" They're like, "You did this to me.
You did this." And every nurse and every other CNA will think they're crazy. Because of the type of place you're in.
Everybody's watching. Everybody's watching you like, what the fuck is going on here?
You're like, I don't know.
And you just look back at him and it's like, I don't know, I just met him today. Yesterday.
I don't know who this guy is, but he said I added this to him. So, can I refuse? Because there is a rare time when CNAs can actually refuse to take care of a resident.
When is that?
It's one, if they falsely accuse us of something, or two, if we feel like we were endangered by being near that resident.
So the whole unit.
Why do you think Why do you think so many CNAs refuse to be in the unit? Well, because they feel like they are endangered.
Yes, every resident in there is violent in one way or another.
Oh yeah, especially when they decide, hey, I'm gonna smear my shit everywhere. Freaking.
That happened on Sunday.
Hold on a minute. I can pull up a name. I can pull up a nickname for them. Give me a second. Hold on a minute. Fucking.
Mo Lester.
Yeah, fucking.
Wasn't that his name?
Yeah, sure. Let's go with Mo Lester. Fucking.
Well, who cares?
Either way, they. Fucking molester over here decides, hey, I'm gonna fucking shit fucking pellets all over the fucking bathroom while I'm changing one person, and fucking Mike Litteris over here is fucking, watching over the group that's in the
dining room.
Yeah. I guess that's what you would call it. I mean, it's technically is a dining room,
Cafeteria?
It's literally a dining room. That's what it says on the wall.
Well, it's a dining room / common room, basically, because that's where everybody is.
Cafeteria?
I mean, it's a little...
Kinda.
Like, I mean, it's a small... Yeah, I mean, it pretty much is like a dining room, because there's a kitchen in there, there's a stove that... I don't know why the heck they have a stove in there.
It works, I think. At least the microwave works, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I care about as long as that microwave works.
Hey, the fridge works? You can...
Hey, can you watch my Hot Pocket? There's somebody down the hall that's dying.
So I gotta go kind of give it CPR?
Make sure that doesn't burn.
Yeah, just stop it at like 5 seconds.
Just feed me the Hot Pocket while I'm doing CPR. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
I believe that you would do that, clone. Mr. Clone.
Freaking,
You never know. I mean, shit can happen.
Freaking FATBOI over here. If he was trying to do CPR on anybody, he'd fucking crush them like a pancake.
I wouldn't
like he almost did to you.
I try to pick up FATBOI over here and fucking, I try to pick him up and I go, ah!
He tried to pick me up, and
he tried to say he could lift him.
Had I not moved in the direction that I did, he would have been a part of my work parking lot.
Oh, dude, I would have been fucking tarmac at that point. Fucking hell.
Yeah, he would be a part of the cement. Like, he can't move. He can only talk. And they're like, wow, this place has a brand new parking lot. It even has a little talking cement block right there.
Go fuck yourself.
Shut up.
Please go and fuck yourself.
Please go away.
Be closed.
No, you just end up just sounding like Squidward. Just go away. Don't step on me. Go inside. I don't care.
But yeah, ever since the memory unit turned into the COVID unit because a few of the residents got COVID when they came back from a mental
institution.
Yeah, pretty much.
The nut house.
Yeah, it went from already being a nut house to I'm about to freaking strangle myself if I don't get a cigarette.
Huh. Hey, but going back to the whole CNA and military, I guess it's better than CNA and wrestling.
I'd kill somebody.
What could be a violent person you're going to change somebody and they're becoming violent and everything, and it just ends up with
instinct kicks in
a steel chair to the back, putting their old ass through a table.
Imagine if all this stuff, it is technically instinct still to a point, but it's more mellowed out than
we'll hit the topic of wrestling here in a few minutes.
Oh yeah,
maybe,
because this is kind of what it is. We're talking about CNA, throwing some comedy in there,
dealing with shit smears,
throwing in the field of wrestling because that's what I'm trying to go into. It's and I won't name any specific company or any specific people unless
don't even know.
Unless they give me the okay.
She just kicked me. This cat just kicked me.
Well, that's something we can do on this podcast too.
What?
Is we can combine my wrestling podcast, which those of you on there check out Outside the Squared Circle. That's my wrestling podcast. I bring on wrestlers. We can put these two together.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when we go visit the state in which these wrestlers
reside. Well, on mine, I have a bunch of wrestlers come on and talk about their careers.
Yeah.
We can do that here and just kind of merge the two together.
Yeah. But it's the
one thing that I get all the time with wrestling is, oh, that shit's fake. Well, let me tell you something right now.
I broke my shoulder yesterday.
Fuck off. Go eat a dick. It's not fake. It fucking hurts.
I mean, it's the drama when they do in WWE wrestling is fake.
Well, here's the thing. These storylines, the predetermined events that happen, that's where it can be considered fake. But the term predetermined and fake are two totally different things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because if it was fake, then if I was going to get hit with the steel chair, it'd be a rubber chair.
Yeah.
But it was.
If I was going to get thrown onto a pile of thumbtacks, they'd be retractable thumbtacks.
That shit wasn't.
Oh, those exist, huh?
No.
Retractable thumbtacks?
I've never seen a retractable thumbtack in my life.
I would imagine that they exist, though, because
no, I've never
they have those things, that room. Yeah, they have enough room to retract if you wanted to.
Dude, but that would still fucking hurt, because, the thing is, thumbtacks like a nail. Okay, they'd only have to retract into themselves, but even by then, you're still landing on...
Well, I've gotten the opportunity to talk to a bunch of, WWE legends that I've gotten to meet over the years, and basically talk about their careers and some tough encounters that they've had to handle in the ring. And WWE Hall of Famer Mick Foley told me he had a match back in 1998 where he was thrown from 16 feet in the air through a table. There was people still there, all the haters that are like, oh yeah, that was fake, that was as fake as could be. But after talking to him, he was like, no, the fuck that wasn't.
Collapsed lung? Oh, no.
Well, he bit through his lip.
Oh.
Whenever he landed, out of just instinct or something, he bit onto his lip, but once the impact hit, he bit through it.
Oh, that's...
And, to the point where he was able to stick his tongue right through the bottom of his lip.
Oh my god.
Is
that's
he
a lot
still
of
able to do that?
Not anymore, since that's been 20 years ago.
They probably had
years ago.
Stitched up and healed and stuff, yeah.
But, it's... When people say that it's all fake and bullshit, that's absolutely wrong.
Yeah, because it's when you're doing, I don't know what type of, you have normal wrestling, school wrestling events?
School wrestling and professional wrestling are two different things.
How so?
Professional wrestling is more sports entertainment, where, school, college wrestling are actual sport.
Yeah. I think that you should have, Do you distinguish that just in case some people like,
Well, since we've mentioned WWE, that probably gives them an idea of this is that kind of wrestling.
Okay, but some people get easily confused, like
because
I already know
some people are fucking retarded.
I wouldn't call them retarded. I would just call them slow.
Mentally slow.
No, you dumbass. They're fucking retarded.
And again, sometimes I can be fucking slow, you piece of fucking shit. Oh shit, I didn't mean to hit you, Empress. Anyways.
But, aside from all that, no, it's been pretty fun. You know, I've gotten to meet a lot of people. I've gotten to have the opportunity to be at events and just kind of watch how everything runs, you know, and...
But with your own, what is it called? With your own professional wrestling career, is it a career so far, or is it still, like, trying to take it off?
Trying to mainly take it off, but I will still consider everything in a career because I don't want to take advantage of the fact of, I might have 1,000 more matches left in me. When in reality, I treat every match like it's like my last one that I'm ever going to have.
Because it's once again one of those life is short like the spoon, you know?
Well, yeah, and the thing is with wrestling is what can be a completely safe and harmless, I mean, not harmless, that's a lack of a better term.
That's bullshit. Anyways.
You can get injured really quickly.
Yeah.
There was a guy, actually, it was 23 years ago yesterday that he passed away from it. He was supposed to make a superhero-like entrance into the arena by using a zip line at the top of the arena and zip lining down. Well, the idiots that put the fucking harness on him didn't check it all the way and make sure it was 100% safe, and as he was still a good 50, 60 feet in the air, the harness came loose and he fell. And that's what immediately killed him. It killed him on impact.
Jeez.
And that was a sold-out center of about 40,000 people.
Oh, no. Most of them must have been traumatized. Because.
Oh, yeah. And so that's... And it's sad that they had to reiterate 1,000 times on air, this is not a part of tonight's entertainment. Like, it's sad that you have to say that, but you know there's going to be those assholes that are like, oh, I bet that was all planned and bullshit. I could see right through that.
No,
really?
He fell to his death.
He's fucking dead right now because of that.
Yeah.
Did the people who failed to save...
The safety guys, are they charged with manslaughter? Or?
I have no idea. But with any kind of scenario, accidents can happen.
Yeah. No, that's literally...
Yeah, but...
being your job, you have to check that harness because...
Yeah. Well, yeah, but at the same time, though, like, it's on air, on national television, and you're trying to make things quick and go as smoothly as possible. Mm-hmm. And so if someone's trying to rush and do something, make it as quickly as possible, accidents will happen where, oh shit, I forgot to
test the harness.
Check that. And I mean, they've tested that entrance many times before. Mm. And, well, they tested it a good week or two before that event even happened.
Yeah.
And it, from whenever they were testing it, everything worked smoothly, nothing happened, to plunging 50 feet from the air and ended up being killed. I mean, at that point, there's really not much that can happen as far as the safety team. I mean, they did what they could, but...
accidents happen.
It does. And as much as that sounds like, well, that's not an accident, it can be still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because you're on air, on TV, and nerves build up. Mm-hmm. Nerves can build up easily, even if you're not on screen.
Yeah.
You're wanting to make sure that production runs perfectly and runs smoothly with no bumps whatsoever. Mm-hmm. But you still have that likelihood of something small happening. And that's an example on how one time and event where this is happening on air can go from being smooth, kind of like in the field of CNA or any kind of medical field.
Yeah,
it can go smooth. Then at the drop of a dime, something happens.
Yeah,
terrible.
Like we can have a smooth day, and then all of a sudden, like somebody falls, they bust their head, and oh shoot, this is an emergency.
Yeah, and I mean it can happen really fucking quickly.
Yeah, like somebody fell and busted their heads when I was on shift with another CNA. They had to go and help out because.
And yeah, that's kind of where that kind of helps also tie in with wrestling because, like I mentioned, it went smoothly up until that particular moment.
Like even though it's one of those same things too. It's like we have preventative measures like to prevent somebody from falling,
like walkers and wheelchairs.
But
and fall mats.
Accidents do happen,
and sometimes it can be catastrophic.
Yeah, and I mean
he's still alive.
Oh
so.
yeah,
but at this time, I mean your nerves are high, adrenaline's up, and you're just trying to make sure everything's set and ready to go, and it doesn't matter if it's on TV, it doesn't matter if it's in front of nobody. Something can happen and fuck that all up.
Going on to that topic, in your wrestling career, are you afraid that something could happen that might seriously injure you and prevent you from doing something in the future?
Well, the way that I look at that is, like I mentioned before, going into my career and everything, I mean, I'm wanting to treat every single match that I have like it's going to be my last. Because you can get into the ring and
never come out.
Well, yeah, but you can get hit with a move that you've done 1,000 times and it completely fucking retire you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's kind of just one of those things of like, you have to take into consideration all the fans in attendance too. Like, I know of some people that will, on just one of the basic house shows, at non-televised or in front of a small crowd, there's some of the performers that won't give 100%. But my thoughts is those people that are in attendance paid good money to watch this entertainment that we could put on for them and have a fun night. So I see it as, and any wrestler that I can bring to you and they'll tell you the same thing. If they pay to see one of the best matches that they could ever see,
or that they can, afford at that time, then they should.
Then who are we to not give that to them?
Yeah.
They pay, like for one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, who just recently retired, The Undertaker. He has said, people pay a lot of money to see The Undertaker. So every match, I'm going to give them the best I have. Treat every match like it's in front of millions of people. Treat it like it's going to be some huge and you want to make the fans' night somehow. Not give it 60% and
like not slap them in the face and say you quit.
Yeah, and I mean it's one of those things of just like you want to go into it knowing, what, these people are here. Whether you're a baby face, which means you are there for the crowd, you love the crowd, character-wise, or you're a heel, where you're technically the bad guy, the villain.
Yeah.
You still, no matter what it is, you still want to make those fans feel happy and want to come back. Whereas if you go out there and you're like, no, fuck these guys, I mean, I don't give a shit if they're here or not. I really don't give a damn. I mean, you can see the difference there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but what if that is supposedly your character is supposed to be the shitbag,
Yeah. I mean, no matter what, I always do what I want to do for the fans.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't for the fans, then
you wouldn't be having your career right now.
There would be a lot of fucking superstars that wouldn't have their careers, whether they hate them or love them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm good friends with a wrestler on the independent scene right now who he plays a heel, the villain, the bad guy. But still does everything he can for the fans.
Mm-hmm.
He might tell them in the ring, he doesn't say this exactly, but he gives off that vibe of like, go fuck yourself, I don't come to your job and yell at you, do I? Whether the fans hate him or love him, he always gives them the respect in return as far as himself, not just the character,
Yeah.
And I can have him come on this one time soon if we want to do another episode with him. I can bring him in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice.
But, no, just on the whole, I mean, the whole entire wrestling industry is based around the fans.
Mm-hmm.
And during the pandemic, where a lot of major wrestling companies like WWE, AEW, Impact, all of them
We're struggling.
were struggling because you can definitely tell in their performances whenever they had events with no fans in attendance that the energy wasn't hot for them. Because whether you're a babyface or a heel, your adrenaline feeds off of the reaction of the crowd, whether it's hating or loving.
Mm-hmm.
They could look at me in the ring and go, fuck you, man. Or they could look at me in the ring and go, dude, you're the best wrestler on this roster. It can go both ways. But, I mean, the wrestlers on the whole feed off of the energy from the crowd.
Mm.
And so...
And going on to the topic, I don't mean to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
Are you a heel, or are you the babyface, or are you
My character's a heel.
Alright, so you're like the villain, you're just like,
yeah.
Fuck you. How do you feed off of the energy,
Basically, like, with my character is whenever the crowd's like, fuck you, dude, I'm like, cool. I'm like, I'm here, okay? I don't see your ass standing in this ring. So I'm doing more than what you do.
Yeah, but are you, trying to make them riled up?
Yeah. I'm trying to build their energy, most of the time they're going to end up booing me. But I don't care.
But that's what
I know they're having a good time anyway.
They're booing you because that's part of the show.
Yeah. And during intermission, whenever meet and greets and all that stuff happens, then that's when they become your best friend.
Yeah.
Like, hey man, I enjoyed your character. And whenever it's kind of time for a meet and greet or whatever,
you're like,
my character shuts completely off. I'm back to me.
Yeah, being the good guy.
Yeah, and I talk and I make interactions, stuff like that. But once the bell rings, it's different ball game.
Yeah, and the fans know that too.
Yeah, the fans get the concept of kind of switching it off between being in the performance or just kind of being out and about.
Yeah. Have you had fan interactions?
Quite a few times.
Mm-hmm.
None of that.
For nobody that has seen Empresses out there doing the finger and the whole thing,
No, I've had some. Not some interactions out in public, not many. Mm-hmm. Only because I'm more of not a lot of people watch much of the independent scene.
Yeah, they like the WWE stuff.
Yeah, because the independent scene, they are usually always in towns, always in small event centers, stuff like that, where we don't hardly stream any of our stuff. So having fan interactions is more rare whenever you're on the independent scene than it is whenever you are on mainstream.
Mm. Would you like to be on the mainstream, or do you enjoy being on the independent
scene? Eventually. I kind of want to mainly just cross that bridge when I come to it.
Mm. But right now, it's just...
Right now, I kind of enjoy being on the independent scene because, I'm not near on the road as much. Mm. Because if I, working, say, for WWE, those superstars are on the road 46 weeks out of the year. Mm. And right now, I'm not at the point yet where I want to do that quite yet. Mm. Because I still want to have time at home with my family and my friends and all that stuff.
Yeah, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to do these podcasts.
Yeah.
Unless you were to, do it, on Discord or any of that other stuff.
Yeah, but that's not fun.
Yeah.
It can be.
If you have to be out for some reason, or if Blackclone is deployed out somewhere, or something like that.
But, man, I've had interactions quite a few times. Some of them at my work, some of them out in public. It's pretty cool. Mm. Just the whole industry on the whole is something that I've wanted to do since I was little, and here I am doing everything I can to get into this industry.
It's just like me and the nursing industry. I wouldn't really call it an industry, but it's like a field. But at the same time, there are some companies that do, what is it called, profit off of it and stuff. Yeah. But it's like, for me, I've always wanted to care for people, but at the same time, it's like I know it's weird, like, as a guy, because, like, people say toxic masculinity, but I do like having a strong side to me, you know?
Toxic masculinity. Fuck those guys.
I know. But it's like, I can still be, you know, a strong, violent guy if I need to, but at the same time, I can still be a very caring, genuine person, you know? You know, it's like I don't always have to be a very tough, macho guy that wants to fucking choke slam you into the ground.
I do.
You know? Okay, well, that's you fucking fat ass.
You get paid to be like that.
But it's like, you know, I enjoy being, I guess, two types of people, you know?
Two-faced?
Yeah, you know.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, not necessarily my
just
ass.
Just multiple personalities. You haven't gotten it diagnosed.
Not necessarily my ass. You're in the fucking facility and you're like, yeah, I'm going to care for every one of you. Then 2 days later, you're at your fucking military base and you're like, fuck all these pussies.
Fucking choke slam, boom, right into the fucking Humvee,
yeah.
Boom.
Tell me that's not two-faced.
It is. I mean, yeah, you know, but it's like day-to-day life, you know, it does flip, you know, somebody pisses me off, I can be strong, macho, I'm about to fucking choke slam you into the asphalt and fucking curb stomp your fucking head in. And there are times it's like, oh, it's
It makes me think of, like, little kids, okay? Kind of in that field, because what I was just making the reference of is, say, like a 5 or 6 year old is fucking online playing Fortnite. Fuck you guys, I'm gonna whip your ass. I'm gonna shoot you. Ha, fuck you, you little fucking aborted motherfucker. You're adopted. You know, talking all this mad shit. But whenever you're out in public, you're like, oh yeah, I love being here. This is the greatest. I'm gonna go swing and eat ice cream.
Oh, Mother, you're so wonderful. I'm so
Mama, give me some titty. What? Like, you see my point?
Yeah. I mean, I would say technically everybody has two sides to them. You know?
With me, my character plays a lot more kind of my personal.
Oh yeah, but the thing is, you do have a nice side for the fans.
I have a nice side, but that doesn't come out a whole lot.
I mean, technically speaking, everybody does have a nice side. It's either if they fake it or if they're genuine, and everybody does have an asshole side. A lot of people show more of the asshole side than others, but we don't talk about that.
Like my job as a server. That's when I not really like full on slap a smile, but I just kind of. Whenever I serve people, I give a fuck, somewhat.
You're trying to get that tip.
But I still have that asshole in me. I'm like, verbally, I'm like, fuck you guys. What the fuck are y'all doing here? Go somewhere else. Go eat cereal or something. But I also have that mindset of like, hey, you know, not mindset, verbally. Yeah, is there anything else I can get for y'all? Alright, y'all just let me know if you need something, okay? Yeah, you know, I'm talking really nice.
And mentally,
but in my head, I'm like, fuck you. Why am I being so goddamn nice to these people?
They're not even gonna tip me.
No, usually if I'm an asshole, that's when people tip me more. It's weird. Like, if I've pissed a customer off, they usually tip me more than me kissing their ass. Because last Friday, I had a couple tables come in, and I was the only server on the floor. It was just me and the cook. And judging by some of my descriptive details, y'all can probably guess where I fucking work. Because I'm not going to give the name.
Good luck.
It was one server, one cook on the floor. I had the whole restaurant to myself, basically, because I was the only server, because our other person fucking quit like a pussy. And and so I was trying to be respectful. You know, I was basically kissing these customers' asses, getting them anything they wanted, because I wanted to make a shit ton of money that night, okay?
Yeah.
But I also had a group of customers that came in and completely pissed me off because they were being complete dickheads.
How so?
Drunks. There's a bar right behind us.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm trying to be nice to the sobers and sane-ish people.
Nobody is sane when you get a napkin dispenser to the head.
But all the drunks, I mean, yeah, I'm still respectful. But once you start being disrespectful towards me, and that's where I turn into an asshole. And they've been disrespectful ever since they walked into the fucking door. So I wasn't being a complete dickhead. Like, I was being respectful to an extent, but I wasn't gonna, like, completely kiss their ass.
You weren't gonna be brown-nosing.
And I told them straight up that they were pissing me off, and they needed to calm the fuck down. Whereas the other people, the two same people that I was taking care of, I was being nice, I was being respectful, getting them anything they needed, you know, being talkative, you know, having a pretty decent time. Well, come to the end of their time at the restaurant, they were, you know, like, oh yeah, thank you so much. This is some of the best service we've ever had at this restaurant, so I really appreciate you. Leave me $1 tip. Then goes into the 4 drunk ass dickheads that come in, you know, it's fucking after they're like, you know what, fuck you, dude, you're wasn't a great server, you didn't have good service, all that shit. Ended up leaving me $25.
Heck yeah, man, that's how we do
So
it.
I'm like, fuck you guys.
But thank you.
I was like, I'm not gonna complain about the money, you know. But
And for me, what I do, it's like, I'm like, this is not a tip, this is a gift. Gifts are not taxable. I love doing that.
yeah, I'm about to go out and smoke here in a minute.
Oh, yeah, well, already hit pretty much the hour mark, but I was letting you finish up your story.
No.
But this is one of those, not really
Trial run.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good, decently long podcast, you know, most podcasts are somewhere between an hour to 2 hours, so, you know, I would say this is a pretty good podcast. We're hitting a pretty good time. If you guys enjoyed the podcast video,
Just, yeah, show some support.
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say subscribe because God knows, yeah.
Subscribe, comment,
Not
like,
most. Okay, I will.
tip us some money. Subscribe to our payment, our OnlyFans.
We ain't got no damn OnlyFans.
I got feet pics on OnlyFans if you guys want to see some of that. No, I'm kidding.
I've got belly pics.
Join our channel for only $5. Just kidding.
Just kidding.
And if this takes off, in all seriousness, I might try to get together and make some merch.
Yeah.
If this takes off.
Yeah. But it's like, in all seriousness, no, subscribe if you want to. If you don't want to,
Fuck you.
Dude, I ain't gonna put a gun to their fucking heads. What
Liar,
do
you will. You just don't want them to know.
I'm gonna put a gun up to your head.
If you subscribe, great. If you don't, go fuck yourself.
We don't want
You can do both if you want.
I mean, yeah, technically we just go over there, be clicking subscribe, unsubscribe, subscribe, unsubscribe, or fucking shoving a dildo up your ass. I mean, whatever works for you, you know? What is your cup of tea?
Whatever you do in your closet is up to you.
And since we will be demonetized, you should probably...
I mean, fuck,
Join our
this
channel.
video, if we're not even gonna get monetized, but if we do get demonetized, this video is gonna be like, yeah, fuck you guys are not getting monetized at all.
But here's what we're going to have to do is...
We'll do, like I said, we do this shit for fun. We don't really give a fuck about revenue.
But here's the thing, though. If we do somehow get monetized or whatever, before we upload anything up, and I'm saying this live on the air, I don't give a fuck, put explicit content at the very front of the title.
Clickbait!
No, that way it's like... Okay, this is explicit, so it might have some fucking cuss words.
It might be not safe for work, so I should probably not watch it at
No,
work
this is completely safe
while
for
I'm
work.
performing a surgery.
Yes, this is completely safe for work.
Just imagine a doctor listening
Yes.
to this while they're performing a surgery, wearing AirPods.
You cut open that person.
You slice that
I believe in you.
ventricle artery.
You can finish that surgery.
Dump bleach in their gut.
You can put that silicone bag
In
that
the
chest.
open wound, apply bleach.
Slowly but steadily.
apply a little bit of kerosene.
Use that incision onto the fourth rectum.
As you're going to sew up the incision,
people are just
use our glue. Use our glue substitute. We call that kerosene.
I'm sorry, but
add kerosene to the wound to kind of hold it together. Then once it finally is held together, once you finally get all the kerosene lathered up, then you pull out your lighter from your pocket. You potheads, I know you all fucking got one.
Yeah.
And you hold the lighter closely. It'll light the bitch on fire, but it'll melt the skin together.
Fun fact, skin is actually pretty meltable. But, anyways...
Don't listen to us. If you learn anything from us, it's a goddamn accident.
Anyways, in all seriousness though, hope you guys enjoyed the video and the podcast. Subscribe if you don't. I don't give a fuck. You know, we just do this shit for fun. You know? And, as always, smoke some ketamine.
Ketamine.
Yeah, ketamine. Fucking, I'm totally not high. And we will see you guys either next week or in a month or in a few fucking years. Who knows? We don't have an upload schedule. Go fuck yourselves. Any other last words?
Bye.
Bye.
Fuck.